Isn't it ironic? No sooner have Arsenal and Chelsea decided to field full-strength teams in the Coca-Cola Cup than the fates conspire to rob them of key players. Arsenal have injury problems. Seaman, Dixon, Keown and Wright are all on the casualty list, so the late call-up of Patrick Vieira to the French international squad was particularly unwelcome. Stephen Hughes deputises for him in midfield. Gilles Grimandi is again the emergency right back, whilst the 20-year-old Austrian Alex Manninger plays in goal. Only his fourth game for Arsenal, and so far his biggest game for Arsenal. Not in a season and a half as player-manager has Ruud Gullit started a bigger game for Chelsea out in the middle. It's only his third start in any game since the beginning of last year. Gullit deputises for Frenchman Frank Leboeuf, who is also doing national service tonight. So is Roberto Di Matteo with Italy, but they've given Gianfranco Zola the elbow, so he's free to take over from Mark Hughes. Just those two changes from the team beaten at Everton last time out. Dennis Wise is still injured. In charge tonight, last season's Coca-Cola Cup final referee, Martin Bodnam. When these two last met at Stamford Bridge in September, the match had everything. Arsenal coming from behind to take the points by 3-2, thanks to a spectacular late winner from Nigel Winterburn, of all people. There'll be no winner in this contest until the second leg in 3 weeks' time, but we should get a few clues tonight. Grimandi will take the throw. Ray Parlour. Grimandi quickly under pressure from Flo. Graham Lasso, who's never played in a Wembley Cup final, trying to feed Gianfranco Zola. Sinclair. Zola. Winterburn to Overmars. On by Hughes, and Elka trying to find him with a return pass. Flo riding Adams' initial challenge. Newton picking up the pieces. Header on by Flo. Zola feeding off him. He's got options here. Dan Petrescu making the run to the right. Roll back to Flo. And his shot deflected off Adams. It will be a corner to Chelsea. Petrescu may have been looking for Zola just behind Flo, but Flo had the momentum. He was coming from deep. Zola, who initially fed the Romanian, and Flo got in front of his teammate. And Adams got in front of Flo. Corner turn away by Petit. Hit first time by Newton. It hit Lombard. It was headed on by Sinclair, but to no avail. Meaty strike by Eddie Newton, and the irony was that it was his own man, Bernard Lombard, who got in the way of it. Good first time hit, and that might have stretched Manninger if it had found a way through. Bergkamp just trying to glance the ball onto Anelka. Gullit putting his weight about. Lasso. Away by Bold. Hughes down to Adams. Rimondi. Anelka, instant control. And a good turn into space. And plenty of that on the left-hand side for Overmars and for Winterburn beyond him. Overmars. Petit. And now Parlour. There's a shooting chance for Ray Parlour. Oh, that was a smart stop by Ed de Hoy. It was a fizzer from Ray Parlour. And a daisy cutter. And de Hoy is a tall man, 6'6". It's a long way down. Held it well. Bergkamp onto Pimondi. He's done well to hook in across. There's only Overmars in a red shirt inside the Chelsea box. Looking to play his way out of trouble. Who's going to tell him off if he gives it away in that position? Raimondi. Anelka. A little tight for him, but Lambourd put his arm in his fellow countryman's back and levered him to the ground. Adams back out to Raimondi. Or towards Parler, he's helped it on, and Bergkamp is there, but so too is Ed de Hoy. Dutchman denying Dutchman. Raimondi foraging with some purpose down this right-hand side. Hughes now feeding the other fullback, Winterberg. It's towards Bergkamp. Free header against the crossbar. An escape for Chelsea. Bergkamp acknowledges the quality of the cross. The marking certainly wasn't up to the quality of Winterburn's cross. He was allowed to rise between Hullett and Clark, and really should have hit the target. Unlucky in the sense that he was denied only by the frame of the goal. Zola. That's a really sharp challenge from Stephen Hughes. Bergkamp, the little back heel. Dubry blocked it, didn't know anything about it. Bergkamp has found Overmars for the second time of asking. Only two in the centre for now. Overmars was looking for Stephen Hughes, who'd stayed on the edge of the box. Flo, it's gone past Adams. He's got Lasso, Zola and Petrescu in support. This is Graham Lasso. Well, there were real possibilities there for Chelsea. And on reflection, Graham Lasso's a very reflective type. They didn't make the most of them. Zola was free the far side of the area. How did Flo get past Adams? Well, he knocked it right between his legs, that's how. Lasso had the space, but look at Zola on the far side there. Well, maybe Arsenal got enough men around Lasso for it to be very difficult for him to have linked up with Zola. On by Anelka to Parler. Raimondi to his right. Dubry's header away. Down by Hughes. This is Bergkamp. This is Hughes! Well, there's another very alert stop by Ed de Hoy from a crisply hit half volley from Stephen Hughes, the England under-21 international, who's been in and out of the side this season, partly perhaps because this is the last year of his contract and he hasn't agreed new terms with Arsenal. And Ed de Hoy, who has had his critics of late, has made two smart stops. Foul there by Flo on Raimondi. Petit lifted forward towards Overmars. Hullett just got a little piece of it, but so did Overmars, and Arsenal lead. Mark Overmars, 5 goals in his last 5 games for Arsenal. And what an irony. It was a touch off the head of his former Dutch international teammate, Ruud Gullit, who just quite grown enough to prevent Overmars beating a Dutch international goalkeeper, De Hoy. Petit was who lifted it forward. Overmars read it very well. His pace got him into a dangerous position, and neither Gullit nor De Hoy could deny their fellow countrymen. But Gullit on his return to the side just couldn't cut out Petit's pass. Zola, though, looking for a quick reply for Chelsea. Skipped into space. Flo trying to go on, and Manninger bravely down at his feet. Good work by Zola, mesmeric run. They were like moths around the flame here, 4 of them, and they threw them in, but just couldn't quite feed Flo where he wanted it in front of him. Headed by Dubry. Winterburn, Bergkamp. Now to Overmars. Dubry. Parla. Gullit with the challenge. Took it to Arsenal. Andrew Flo is guarding Bold on the near post. Miscued clearance was by Bernard Lombard. Back to your positions, everybody. Now Bold back to the near post. It goes long towards Adams. Coming on the corner. Almost the choreography of American football, with every little run being checked. And the quarterback trying to throw it in here is Dennis Bergkamp. Towards Adams to the near post, and the flick was just beyond Bold. Corner again. Well, my guess was that it came initially off Tony Adams. I don't see which Chelsea player it was who got a touch after that. Dubious corner, and Anelka got up in front of De Hoy. It needed Petrescu, then hit the ball against the referee, and that will be a corner. Has to be. Petrescu's clearance was going down the field, but it hit neutral territory. Bergkamp to Petit, who was unmarked. Lifted into Hughes. Gullit got in the way. Hit by Parla. Well, goal kick this time. Arsenal are unhappy. Parla's final hit. Well, it was definitely a corner. So Flo unable to turn. Hughes away, now Bergkamp, now Anelka just beyond him. Well, lost that momentarily. Anelka almost pitched it for him again. Zola. Filled 1 or 2 of them there. Clark. Lasso. Lasso just had a little frustrated nibble at Gilles Grémondy there, and Martin Problem is reaching into his back pocket. Yellow card for Graham Lasso, who would do well not to debate the issue for too much longer. I saw the red ball fleetingly at ease. It's the yellow that's being shown. A bit fed up, I think. There's a manager who chooses his words very carefully, but he'll be satisfied with the first 45 minutes. Delighted that Marc Overmars has continued his scoring run. Delighted too that Arsenal have deserved that lead at this stage of the tie. Nipping between Gullit and De Hoy to score his 5th goal in as many games and give Arsenal the edge at quarter time in this Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. 1-0. 9 months ago, Chelsea won an FA Cup semi-final on this ground, beating Wimbledon emphatically. This is the 5th season in a row that they've progressed to a major cup semi at home or in Europe. But a goal by the man on the ball, Overmars, a very smartly taken goal with his unfavoured left foot. A difficult pass, deflected pass, dropping over his shoulder. He's given Arsenal their rightful advantage in this first leg. And they're picking up where they left off. Anelka. Ooh, almost came for Winterburn. Strange to think that Arsenal have not played in a Wembley final for nearly 5 years now. Anelka just ran away from him. Dubry got in, but it's Overmars. Bold. Winterburn back to Adams. Grimondi, who's filled in very capably at right back tonight. Bergkamp tried to turn the ball in field for Anelka. On board. Hughes though. Now Overmars. Anelka. Overmars has gone on. Bergkamp is forward too. It's pulled back instead for Hughes. That's a terrific second goal for Arsenal. Scored by Stephen Hughes and made by the scorer of the first goal, Mark Overmars. Lovely break. Anelka involved. Then the pace of Overmars taking it up a gear. But how did he know that Hughes was there? Really was a delightful pullback, and Hughes, in acres of space, just picked his spot with his left foot. And Arsenal have doubled their money within 2 minutes of the restart. On board. Run away from Charvet. Chelsea throw. The referee has heard something that he doesn't want to hear from Grimondi, and I fancy a yellow card is on the way for the Frenchman. Unless there was an earlier challenge. I think a foul perhaps on Graham Lasso is what Martin Boddenham has reacted to after having tried to give the advantage to Chelsea. Charvet. Overmars emerges with the ball. Anelka. Petit. Overmars is still running if Petit can find him. Steve Clark across the cover. Charvet's arrival has meant a tactical adjustment for Chelsea. We're now playing with a back three in effect, with Lasso here on the left-hand side pushing forward and Charvet on the right, and now Pollard is full-time in midfield. Here is Charvet. Overmars, Anelka. And the three-man defence is a system that Pollard has only rarely toyed with in the last 9 months or so. Here is the man. Couldn't find Newton. was caught there by Lasso, who was urging him to get to his feet. Both of those have yellow cards against their name, and really, Graham Lasso is treading a very, very fine line there. It was a foul by him in the first place, and then his was the more vigorous reaction. Martin Boddenham perhaps has a reputation as being one of the more lenient referees, but how is he going to react to that? Well, they're just going to have a word with him. Well, Lasso, in fairness, did knock the ball against Grimoni. Then he was rather stupid in pushing him to the ground, and then that little... Well, when you raise your arms in this game, you're in trouble, and Lasso is lucky. Emmanuel Petit. Ray Parler. Gilles Grimondi. Dennis Bergkamp. Bit of a swagger about Arsenal now. So has emerged with the ball. Newton. Zola. A rather muted figure on the fringes of the game so far. And that's asked an awful lot of Charvet. And the ball just hesitating. Goal calmly for Winterburn. Petit. Good work by Parler. Just a bit more edge about Arsenal round tonight. Bold giving it away though to Charvet. Pull it quickly into Zola. Graham Lasso. Possibilities here for Chelsea. Oh, they've all missed it. Bold got something on it, I think, and it ran through to Manninger. And Overmars quickly driving Arsenal forward and finding Anelka. Challenged by Dubry. Goal kick is the verdict. Not sure that Dubry got anything of the ball. But just for a moment at the other end, the Arsenal defence were embarrassed. It's Chelsea who are being stretched. Bergkamp. Got past Dubry for a second, but Lombard was there. Charvet. Winterburn won't let him off the hook. Lombard is strong enough. Between them, I think they all got a little bit of a touch. It was Manninger who had the very grateful one at the end. Hullett. Tried to squeeze it through to Zola. And trying to run past Adams. Petit helping out, but at least Chelsea will have a corner kick here. Down at the clock end of Highbury, where their travelling supporters are housed. Gianfranco Zola preparing to take the corner. Oh, a flick from Flo! And somehow Arsenal lost the tallest man on the field, the tallest outfield player anyway. He wasn't marked, was he? It dropped between Bold and Petit and Flo. Well, he had a man on the line to beat as well as the goalkeeper. Mark Hughes in readiness. It's a pretty intimidating sight for any opponent. And with an hour gone, Hughes is going to come into the action in preference to Tore Andre Flo. Mark Hughes has scored no fewer than 7 goals in major semi-finals, 2 against Wimbledon on this very ground just last year in the FA Cup. On board to Lasso. Bowled at full stretch away. Chelsea throw. I beg your pardon, Arsenal throw. I don't think Lasso's smile quite mirrors how he was feeling deep down inside when that decision was made. On board under pressure from Hughes, and he's given it away. And here's Mark Overmars. Bergkamp is free in the centre. Overmars instead to Hughes. And Dubry was able to recover. Arsenal passed up a good chance there. Newton. Hughes fooled himself. Petit. Bergkamp. Anelka. Petit is forward in this attack. This is Emmanuel Petit and Dennis Bergkamp. What a good stop by Ed de Hoy. It was a fabulous hit by Dennis Bergkamp. He couldn't have struck it any better. And de Hoy may even have been shifting the wrong way. He was somehow. He got back to his right. That is a really good save. Overmars. The slow motion hardly did justice to it because of the pace of the shot, but what it did show was that de Hoy was actually moving in the opposite direction and had to check. Well, it was caught late there by Grimondi. Ball is turned on though by Zola to Chave. Oh, important tackle by Petit. Zola. It was deflected. Hughes is there! And Mark Hughes, who else, has put Chelsea back in business. Well, if you're looking for somebody to have an impact on a football match, you turn to Mark Hughes. Even at 34 years of age, he got in front of the goalkeeper. And Arsenal, who were in front and in control, have had that control well and truly challenged now by Mark Hughes. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1. Hughes, who effectively scored the winning goal in the quarter-final at Ipswich, certainly the winning penalty in the shootout when he came on as a substitute, has scored a really crucial goal from the bench here. He's 8th in major semi-finals. Thinking back, perhaps the most famous of those, the one at Wembley against Oldham Athletic in '94, which saved the day for Manchester United. Well, has that saved the day for Chelsea? The semi-final has a different complexion now. Arsenal have a corner. It's found a way through to Petit. He needed a touch from de Hoy. Not quite as dramatic a touch as he got on Bergkamp's shot a moment or so ago. Just helping that effort from Petit on its way over the crossbar. Ed de Hoy has done his reputation no harm tonight. Bergkamp again, volleyed away. Chested down by Zola. Still to see anything really spectacular from Zola in this match. Dennis Bergkamp as an important factor in the Chelsea comeback, as the goal at the other end scored by Mark Hughes in pole position, and I don't think he even saw Manninger coming. Ed de Hoy, one of the star men on the night, has the last kick of part one. His save from Dennis Bergkamp at 2-0 was certainly one of the crucial moments in part one. It's too close to call. There's plenty to mull over in the next 3 weeks. Mark Hughes' goal from the substitutes bench has certainly given Chelsea some hope. Their entire second half performance will have given them encouragement. Arsenal had a measure of control up until half-time when Mark Overmars played an outstanding part in their establishing themselves as the most likely winners. scoring one and then making a second soon after the restart for Stephen Hughes. But Chelsea really stood up for themselves, and in Mark Hughes they had a man with a habit of making his presence felt in the major cup ties. Halfway in the semi-final, it's Arsenal 2, Chelsea 1.
Arsene, 2-0 up, you were cruising, and the Mark Hughes goal changed the whole complexion of the game, really.
Yes, but I think we could have been 3 or 4 up, and unfortunately we couldn't take our chances. But I would keep the quality of the game. I would keep as well the chances we created and our enthusiasm we had already in the games before, and I think it's good.
Were you surprised at the pace and the power they came at you with in the first half an hour?
No, we expected that. I mean, it's a cup semi-final. You're playing at Highbury. You expect a hard game, and that's what we got. But it was the way we coped with it, really, or didn't rather. So we need to improve on that. But 2-1 isn't a bad result. 2-0 could have been very difficult for us, but we've got a chance now.
We know now that for the second leg we have to be concentrated. We have to score a goal at Chelsea, and I think it will be a good game again.
You got the game there for a draw?
We know we always try to win the games, and because when you have a negative attitude, usually you lose it. So we try to go there and to play our game.
We know we have to win the game now, and I think when Chelsea play in a positive way and have to go for goals, I think that's when we play a better football, and I'm sure that's what will happen.
Trevor Harris with the questions there, Robbie Earle with me. Defeat for Chelsea, Robbie, but in some ways I think they'll be more happy than Arsenal, won't they?
Yeah, I think they'll be the happier of the two camps. Although tonight they didn't play anything near their potential, you know, they're still in the tie, and they've got that crucial away goal.
Ed De Hoy, he made lots of saves. I mean, tonight we're hearing, first of all, Ruud Gullit saying they got out of jail. We're hearing Arsene Wenger saying that he felt Arsenal should have won by 4-1.
Yeah, he was without doubt their best performer tonight, and he's really kept them in the tie and kept it alive for Chelsea.
It all looked so easy for Arsenal. Let's have a look at these 2 goals. Bad defending by Ruud Gullit actually here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great run by Overmars, who runs into those areas with pace. Gullit, who's probably a little bit rusty, hasn't had a lot of first-team football this year, gets the flick, and Overmars, it's a good finish.
I thought he looked quite uncomfortable throughout the evening, Ruud Gullit.
Yeah, I think he's forced into playing at the moment rather than by choice, and with LaBeouf missing, he had to go in there, and he was tested early.
And here's the second one, Mark Overmars, who's really having a lovely little purple patch at the moment.
Yeah, he's picked up the pace of English football now, and he's shown his true class, and that's a magnificent pullback. You know, it's pace, it's awareness, and Hughes comes on with his left foot, and it's a good finish. He's
very left-footed, Stephen Hughes, as you know, Robbie, isn't he?
Yeah, he comes in and you know, great midfield, advanced position, and gets a good finish on the ball.
At that point, 2-0 to Arsenal, it looked so easy. Where do you think the turning point was? Where did it go wrong, as it were?
For me, there was 2 major points, I think. The introduction of Mark Hughes for Chelsea.
As substitute,
That's
yeah.
Right. And there was a minute of action that I thought changed the whole complexion of the tie.
Yes, well, let's have a look at that minute to which you refer.
It's a great ball from Anelka. I think Petit rolls it back into Bergkamp's path, and this is magnificent save by De Hoy. We've said all night he was excellent, and that kept Chelsea in the tie and possibly in the cup competition.
And within a minute?
Yeah, we go down the other end, and Zola chips a ball in. I believe he gets a deflection off Petit, and that old warhorse Mark Hughes, who's got great cup pedigree, gets in there and finishes.
Yeah, I think it causes a problem for goalkeeper Alex Manninger, that deflection there, because I think maybe he shouldn't have come.
Yeah, it holds the ball up, and I think Hughes is probably aware that the keeper's coming, and he gets his head in front.
Why is Mark Hughes... I mean, I don't understand why Ruud Gullit doesn't have Mark Hughes on in a game like this.
Yeah, Gullit's got this trait of switching his team around in the squad system, but you just think a game of that calibre, it's a Mark Hughes type of game. He's got a lot of fire in his belly, and he's got a great cup pedigree.
Second leg at Stamford Bridge, perhaps favours Chelsea now.
Yeah, you would have to say it favours Chelsea, but, you know, Arsenal have a well-drilled, organised back line, so it's not going to be easy, and if they push forward too much, maybe Arsenal have the likes of right-back and Bergkamp, and it could still be very interesting.
Do you think Ruud Gullit will play in that?
I tend to think he'll be on the sidelines, barking his orders out.
Yeah, he did, for once, he looked his age, didn't he, tonight? He looked as if he was blowing.
He looked rusty to me, yeah, he looked very rusty.
Certainly all to play for still in that one. 2 terrific second legs in prospect, in fact.
And rhythm, though Steve Bowles' pass was more basic, and Dennis Bergkamp raced away to open the score. The second came from Emmanuel Petit's corner and was contributed by the old master of these situations, Tony Adams himself. Almost at once, Southampton were caught on the rebound. Ken Moncau's clearance returned with interest in a sweeping Arsenal move that culminated in Nicolas Anelka's arrival at the far post. 3 goals in 7 minutes. It left Dennis Bergkamp expressing pleasure at the return to form.
Yeah, you got a squad of a lot of players, but the players who never played when they came in for the first time, it's hard for them. But you can see, for example, Nicolas Anelka now. He played now 4 or 5 games in a row, and he's getting better all the time. So you have to give them time, and we know from the trainings we see that they're very good players.
Execution by the French Guillotine. Take the first goal, for example. Gallic defender Frank Leboeuf lost his head. Compatriot Nicolas Anelka kept his. And Stephen Hughes scored. The second was more of an English affair. Tony Adams header back. Hughes bravely in for his second. By Ruud.